Hello everyone, Patrick into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days in today's video, which will take us around the 19th of April. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Have a look at Beijing Climate Centre today for the next 40 days. That takes us well into May. And also going to bring you up to date with latest developments stratosphere-wise. We are possibly now seeing the signs of a final end to the Polar Vortex of Doom. It could be on its way out very soon, and I'll bring you up to date with more about that very shortly. But before I do anything else, I'm going to say about the competition. So we've had a phenomenal response to the competition this year. We have teamed up with metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation. We are giving away the Climate Wireless Rain Gauge. It retails at £59.50. It's a fantastic prize. Really delighted with this. And somebody's going to win this on Sunday. On Easter Sunday, we will be giving this away. Somebody will win it. You've got to be in it to win it. So it's just a prize draw. All you need to do is email your name and local town or city to gazoffice@gmail.com. You'll be put into the prize draw, and that is all you need to do to win the rain gauge. I'm on metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation's website right now. We link to this in the description YouTube, so you can read all of the specifications about it if you want to. But the main thing is to enter the prize draw. So this competition page at Gaz Weathers. All you need to do to enter the prize draw is fill in the contact form. Just so you can email directly to gazservice@gmail.com, but perhaps easier to fill in the contact form. And that's what you need to do. It's absolutely easy to do it. And it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Everybody's name is being placed into the bag, and on Sunday there'll be a video up at 7 p.m. on Sunday evening. We'll close the competition at 5 p.m. on Sunday evening. At 7 p.m. on Sunday evening, somebody's name will be drawn out of the bag, and that person is going to win the Climate Digital Rain Gauge. So good luck to everybody who's entered so far. As I say, it's been a phenomenal response, totally blown away. Wasn't sure whether we'd have a great response this year, because everybody's got so many more things to think about. But actually, this has been the biggest response I've ever had, I think. So just a huge thank you to all of you for entering the competition. You've still got time to enter. We're running it until Easter Sunday. So good luck to everybody. Next thing I'm going to do is say a big thank you to our latest PayPal donor. So we have had a new donation for Gaz Weathers through PayPal. So I'm going to say a big thank you and hello, and a big thank you to latest PayPal donor Bernard Hamill. Bernard Hamill is our latest PayPal donor for Gaz Weathers. So a big thank you to you, Bernard, for your donation to Gaz Weathers. That's really kind, and thank you so much, my friend. If you would like to become a donor for Gaz Weathers, all you need to do, come to Gaz Weathers PayPal page, sign into your PayPal account, and then you can give whatever donation you want to Gaz Weathers. And you're going to get a mention in videos as long as you want. If you'd rather say it on us, just leave a little note with your donation to let us know. But otherwise, we'll give you a shout out and say thank you so much for doing that. There is also Patreon as well. Whoops, it looks like the Patreon page is updating. There we go. So we should flick over in a moment. It does run very slow on Patreon. There we go. So we've flicked over now. Got 64 patrons so far. Our patrons are going up, and the new patrons are going to get a mention. They're going to get a shout out in future videos. I'd like to give everybody an individual video for their mention. So for people who are becoming patrons, Gaz Weathers, they're going to get their mention in due course. We've got 64 patrons so far. So hello, and a big thank you to our 64 patrons. Again, we very much hope that you're enjoying the content that we're delivering for you at Gaz Weathers. We are in the midst of the coronavirus crisis. Ad revenues, we are primarily ad-funded. Ad revenues are well down on where they've been over the past few years, well down on normal. So we're looking for other revenue streams, things like the Patreon page and also PayPal. Very useful to help keep Gaz Weathers going during this period of economic crisis. But I do appreciate it's a very difficult time for everybody, so please only donate you can absolutely afford to. So just we've got to take care of everybody during this crisis. So only donate to gas levels if you can absolutely afford to. Our promise to you is that we're going to keep uploading, going to keep recording, going to keep uploading for as long as we possibly can. And we're going to keep the content going. I appreciate a lot of people have got more important things on their mind, the weather at the moment, but I think it's good for people to be able to get away from the constant news about the coronavirus, be able to go and do something else while we're in this period of lockdown, and maybe go to Gaz Webbies and be able to watch the videos. You know, could just take your mind off it for a little while. So our promise to you is that we're going to keep recording, we're going to keep uploading, and we're going to keep going for as long as we can through the coronavirus crisis. Remember, we're also live streaming every Wednesday and Sunday on the YouTube channel, although there won't be a live stream this coming Sunday because we've got competition to sort out. But every other Sunday and Wednesday, except this coming Sunday, there will be live streams, so you can check in to the live stream, see how we're all doing, and I think that's pretty useful for a lot of people as well, hopefully. So, anyway, back to the donations. Whether you do it through PayPal, whether you do it through Patreon, going to mention it in videos, and a big, big thank you to all of us. So, big thank you to all of our patrons, big thank you to all of our donors, and a special thank you to latest PayPal donor, Bernard Hamill. Thank you so much, Bernard, for your donation. Right, let's move on, and we're going to start off with the situation in the stratosphere. But before I go any further, I'm going to pause the video there, because as we go through the tabs, they're refreshing, which is a little bit annoying. So let's stop the video. I'm going to go through the tabs, and then we'll be back very soon. Okay, back, and we've refreshed the tab, so hopefully there won't be any more refreshing going on through the video. Right, so we're going to get on with the situation in the stratosphere. First of all, so this is the very latest in terms of temperature at 10 HPA over the North Pole. This is how things are looking. Still warm. Of course, we have the southern stratospheric warming late in March. That lifted the black line at 10 HPA, which is kind of like one of the top levels of the atmosphere in the stratosphere. It lifted it up to almost to minus 10 at 850 HPA, 10 HPA, I should say. Lifted it up to minus 10. So, very big warming, of course, way above average. The grey line is the trend line, and you can see that the black line it's come down from where it was when we had the southern stratospheric warming, but it's around minus 30. It's still above average at this point in April. The temperature at 10 HPA should be somewhere around there, so somewhere around minus 45 perhaps, so we're actually around minus 30. We're above average, and yes, we have a very significant warming of the stratosphere at 10 HPA, and we still see the impacts of that going lower down towards the troposphere, going lower down to 30 HPA. That's the current situation. So the black line at 30 HPA has gone up to there now, which is around minus 48, something like that. Actually, a little bit above average for the first time in a very long time. The temperature at 30 HPA is a little bit above average. Look how cold it was back through most of the winter, under minus 80. So, has seen quite a significant warming at 30 HPA as well. This is telling us that we are coming towards the end of the polar vortex, and yes, the polar vortex of doom that's been blasting away all winter is beginning to wind itself down. This is how temperatures are looking at 10 HPA over the next couple of weeks from metrosil.fr. This is from the GFS, of course, where we've got these yellow and green colours. These are the warm temperatures that are still there at 10 HPA. Those are the blue colours, cold temperatures, which partly drive the polar vortex. They've been pushed down in towards the mid-latitudes. As we run through, we see that we just keep these yellow and green colours going. So we're not expecting to get another southern stratospheric warming now. That's happened, and now we just going to see a continuation, really, of these warm temperatures at 10 HPA going right way through the rest of the spring and into the summer as well. So in terms of the temperature at 10 HPA, we can expect those temperatures to stick at this very consistent level, edging up slightly as we go through to the summer, of course, but generally sticking at a very consistent level now through to the summer. And that means that the zone of winds are weakening as well. So the zone of winds are kind of telling us that we've had a very strong polar vortex, of course. This is how solar winds have been looking through this season and are forecasted about over the next few weeks and months. This is from weatheriscool.com. So the two most important lines, I suppose, are the blue line, which is how solar winds have been performing through this season, and the black line, which is the trend line. So at this point of the year, as the temperature is lifting up at 10 HPA in the stratosphere over the Arctic, as that's happening, so the solar winds should be dropping out, the solar winds should be weakening, and indeed the solar winds very shortly should be going into reverse. Reversal of solar winds is when they dip below that zero line. Now, the blue line shows that throughout this season we had a very, very strong solar wind. So as we have those really cold temperatures at 10 and particularly 30 HPA, extraordinarily cold temperatures there, that's driven the polar vortex. Polar vortex is like the engine that drives the Atlantic and drives the westerlies. And we see that along with that we have had record-breaking at times solar wind. So for example, just there we had a record-breaking solar wind at 10 HPA, and again just here record-breaking solar winds at 10 HPA, and again there into March record-breaking winds. Solar winds at 10 HPA. Where we are right now with the strength of solar wind is just there. So we are still, even now, the polar vortex is still fighting on. The polar vortex of doom is gone through a major southern stratospheric warming at 10 HPA, and we are almost into the middle of spring. But even now, the polar vortex of doom does not want to go. It does not want to leave us. It's still clinging on. And it is still stronger than average. Solar winds are still stronger than average at the moment. But the GFS ensembles are actually, which are the green lines just here, they're actually forecasting that by the end of them, which is kind of in around 2 minutes' time, by the end of the GFS ensembles, the solar winds are going into reverse. We are getting a reversal of solar winds going underneath that zero line, which is the first time that has happened this season. All the way through winter it didn't happen, and it's the first time it's happened really, I suppose, since this time last year. So the from the solar wind perspective, it does look as though the polar vortex of doom is about done for. It looks like it's about finished. It's done everything in its willpower to cling on and survive, but in the end I think it's just purely the fact that we're going further and further on into the spring. The temperature is warming up at all levels in the atmosphere in the northern hemisphere, and so there's just not enough energy now to allow the polar vortex to survive. And we see again that from the CFSV2, which are indicated by these pink lines just here, they again are forecasting that these solar winds are going to drop out and go into reverse through the next couple of weeks or so. So everything is pointing to an end of the polar vortex of doom. Will you be sorry to see it go, or will you be putting out the flags when it's gone? You have to let me know in the comments. But one way or another, it looks as though the polar vortex for 2019-2020, what a polar vortex it's been, but it looks like the polar vortex is almost done for, although right now it continues to be a lot stronger than average. No sign of an end to polar vortex from the Arctic Oscillation point of view, though. So this is the AO observed and forecast chart. The black line shows where we've been with the Arctic Oscillation GFS ensembles forecasting where the Arctic Oscillation is going to go. So again, we have seen a very, very positive AO course through this winter. That tells us that we've had this polar vortex that's been driving the westerlies and had deep low pressure, very cold air bottled up within the Arctic and the North Pole. That's again kept the AO in positive territory. As we've had a record-breaking strong solar wind through this season, we have also had a record-breaking Arctic Oscillation at times as well, particularly during February. Those peaks just there. Where we are right now with the Arctic Oscillation is still positive. Actually, it did go around neutral at start of April. But right now we're positive with the AO, not record-breakingly so, but it is still in positive territory. GFS ensembles the next couple of weeks forecasting the Arctic Oscillation to stay positive. So from a northern blocking point of view, there's no sign of a change within the Arctic, really. AO is set to stay positive for the next couple of weeks. NAO, though, has been in negative territory over the past few days since the beginning of April. So again, black line shows where I've been with the NAO, red lines at the end where the GFS ensembles are forecasting NAO to go. Look how the NAO went negative at the end of March and into April. That's where we are right now, still solidly negative with the NEO. And certainly for the next week, the GFS ensembles are forecasting that the NEO is likely to stay negative up to the middle of April. Beyond that, the GFS ensembles then are generally lifting the NEO back up to positive territory. That's extended range, though, of course, so it's a little bit more unreliable. So maybe a change coming for the NEO in the second half of April, but up to middle of the month, the NEO is set to stay in negative territory, seemingly. Had a very warm start to April, so this is how the CET is looking from Hadley. This is provisional up to yesterday, the 8th of April. We're standing at 10.0 now. 10 degrees, an anomaly of over 3.5 degrees above average. So not only very mild start to April, it's been a really warm start to April as well. And this may tick up a bit more, actually, over the next few days. We've got some very warm weather coming up until second half of the Easter weekend, anyway, when temperatures will start to drop back. But certainly, that's going to tick up a bit more, I think, in the next day or so. So a really warm first week to April, definitely. These are the 500 millibar high-anomaly flowcharts from the Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. Got the ECMDF on the top and the GFS is on the bottom. 500 millibars is area in the absolute high pressure and low pressure being moved around by a jet stream running above. Red reflects high pressure, blue to low pressure. They're confirming, they're confirming generally an anticyclonic signal for the next week to 10 days. So they both have above average height sitting over the UK and much of Western Europe as well. Below average heights are down to southwest and also to the northeast. Deep troughing across eastern parts of America and Canada. That could be a really wintry, late wintry blast there. But for us, actually we're on the mild side of jet stream and the ridge. So up to around day 10, which takes into the second half of the month, the ECM is quite anticyclonic. GFS is very similar. Although not quite going to town as much with the anticyclonic weather. But it does have high pressure out to the northwest and also to our south and southeast. Generally quite anticyclonic scenario from both models going into the middle of, we're going into second half actually, of April. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks for Manchester. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average. Manchester obviously very much above average at the moment. It's a warm spell that we're currently in. Temperatures look like they drop a little bit as we go into the Easter weekend, particularly the second half of the Easter weekend, and then recovering after that. Overall, it's a mild to warm scene really for the next couple of weeks. Precipitation-wise, maybe a little bit more unsettled over the Easter weekend than we had anticipated. I'm going to do the final Easter update tonight. And even now, at Maundy Thursday, it's Good Friday tomorrow. And even now, there's just a little bit of uncertainty in terms of the detail, anyway, of the weather for this Easter weekend. But we're going to look at it in detail over in the final Easter update, and as I say, that will be coming up tonight. But it does perhaps look a little bit more unsettled than we might have anticipated a couple of days ago. Won't say any more than that, but yes, it does look a little bit more unsettled over Easter now. Beyond that, relatively dry into the second half of April. Not doing too bad. There are some precipitation spikes coming and going, so not completely dry, but overall, that's a pretty dry ensemble for the next couple of weeks, really. Temperature anomalies from the 9th to 17th of April are above average for the UK and much of Western Europe. Precipitation anomalies from the 9th to the 17th of April, overall average to dry, but average looks particularly dry, interestingly, for more northern parts of the country, near normal for precipitation down across parts of England and Wales. Right, so this is how the GFS is looking for Easter Sunday, and you can see what's going on Easter Sunday. So we have got a trough developing close to the country. Again, how this trough develops and where any precipitation is with the trough is what's causing the uncertainty. It's quite a complicated pattern because you've got a ridge building from the Atlantic going up towards Greenland. The trough is setting up over the UK and northwest parts of Europe. It's a very difficult pattern for the models to get their head around, if you like. So that explains the uncertainty. But eventually that trough drops southwards. As going into Easter Monday, we start to pull in the wind from an east-northeast direction. So it'll turn cooler, but also there's probably going to be some rain involved in that through Easter Sunday into Easter Monday before the high pressure then sinks in across the country for Easter Monday itself and turns us quite a lot drier. By Tuesday, by the time Easter is all over and done with, we're back under high pressure again, turning things drier and warmer. And then the second half of next week, just threatening this low pressure to come up from the southwest, maybe bringing some rain into more southern and southwestern parts of the country. But the wind goes southerly, so it should be relatively warm there anyway. And up to day 10, then we're back under a rather flimsier ridge of high pressure. So by day 10, which is Sunday the 19th of April, we're back to drier conditions again and probably quite warm. And then the high pressure intensifies into more extended range, always close to the country. Its position changes day by day. At this point, 23rd of April, the high pressure is more out to our west again, so bringing some slightly cooler air from the north to northeast. But overall, it is an anticyclonic signal into the second half of April. That's how we end this particular GFS run on Saturday the 25th of April. And then we're taking the high pressure away to the northwest. We're dropping a trough of low pressure into our northeast, turning things a bit more unsettled and probably turning things quite a lot cooler as well. The GM looks like that. So again, rather showery for Easter Sunday. Detail to be determined. That low pressure then slips away on Easter Monday. Winds going to a much cooler northeasterly. Then the high pressure topples down over top of the country by Tuesday, turning us mainly dry. The high pressure sticks around as we go through into the middle part of next week before low pressure then perhaps threatens a bit from the south, perhaps bringing some rain into more southern parts of the country. We finish up with the GM looking like that. So high pressure then to our north, west and northeast. Low pressures to our south. Winds are in from the east. That could be rather cool and rather showery by day 10, which is Sunday the 19th of April. The ECM looks like that. So again, we've got showery conditions developing on Easter Sunday. The low pressure clears away to our south as we go through to Easter Monday, but we bring in a much cooler and quite strong northeasterly wind. That will have quite a blow to it, that wind, and you will notice it as we go through into Easter Monday. By Tuesday, we're back under the high pressure. It's mainly dry and settled by that point, and it gets warmer as we go into the middle of next week, still under high pressure conditions. Second half of next week, low pressure starts to threaten from the southwest. The air should be relatively warm with this. It's coming from a southerly direction, but it could start to turn more showery into the second half of next week. And then by the time we get through to day 10, we've got high pressure beginning to get going over Scandinavia. Perhaps low pressure is out to our west. This is a precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run. Lots of dry weather coming up over the next few days, of course. We move into the east weekend. It begins to turn more showery up in the north, but still quite a bit of dry weather around. That's Easter Sunday, and by then we start to see some heavy showers breaking out in the south on Easter Sunday afternoon. They may even be a little bit thundery. Excuse me again. And then we go through to Easter Monday, and that low pressure clears away then. We take the showers away, but we're bringing this cooler northeasterly wind. And then the high pressure slips down across the country, turn it drier again through the middle part of next week. Before eventually low pressure begins to threaten from the southwest, bringing some showery bursts of rain. And then it starts to turn much more unsettled, actually, much wetter, particularly across England and Wales as you get towards the end of next week. Showers or longer spells of rain. These options are on the table within the ECM run from the Icelandic Met Office for day 10, which gets us to the 19th of April. Have 17 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our east and northeast. Low pressure is out to our west. So for day 10 with this option, there's a lot of dry weather on offer and quite warm too. We'll be bringing in the winds from like an easterly to southeasterly direction. Mainly dry and 5-12 just here. Have high pressure over Scandinavia. Low pressure again out to our west. Could be a bit of a battle with that. Maybe a weather brings some rain in from the west. 12 have high pressure centre more or less over top of the country. That includes the operational run. And then we have 10 with the high pressure slipping away to our southeast. Low pressure is coming in from the Atlantic. That's probably the most unsettled option out of all, but only 10 of those looking matte unsettled by day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these options that we've got, this is for the 24th of April, we have 23 members of the east ensembles with a Scandinavian high and bringing in easterly winds. 17 with low pressure in off the Atlantic, they're more unsettled, probably quite cool as well. And 11 with high pressure as a mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland and winds in from the north probably. So that's a dryish sort of option. Wouldn't be particularly unsettled, but that's probably the coldest option with winds in from the north as we get into the last week of April. So a lot to keep an eye on really as we go in towards the latter stages of the month. Finally, we've got Beijing Climate Centre, so these are 500 millibar heights, break it down into 10-day periods. The first 10-day period is going to take us from the 11th to the 20th of April, and the coming 10 days is dominated by above average heights, high pressure, both to our east, north and west. So there should be a lot of dry weather. Pressure is weaker to our southwest, so that could bring some rain at times into the south, but overall quite anticyclonic signal for the coming 10 days. The next 10-day period is the 21st of April to the 30th of May. Perhaps going a bit more unsettled then, low pressure developing to our northwest and possibly high pressure just weakening a little bit, or the above average heights just weakening a bit. So that could be a transitional period going into the latter part of April, might be turning more unsettled. And then the first 10 days of May, not looking very good at all, really. This is the 1st to the 10th of May, with low pressure then back in business. Westerlies coming in off the Atlantic, so that looks rather cool and unsettled. And not much better for the next 10-day period either. This is the 11th to the 20th of May. Below average heights in the Atlantic and to our north, also northeast over Scandinavia. So just looking rather cool and unsettled, really, as we go into May, with the Beijing Climate Centre today after a more anticyclonic interlude in the next 10 days. So we shall see about that. That's all very extended and long-range stuff, so it's not worth worrying about. But it does suggest after a more anticyclonic April, we possibly go into a rather wetter May, but we'll see about that. In a more reasonable time frame, we've still got a few questions about Easter. Overall, I think it looks like we gradually turn more unsettled as the Easter weekend progresses, and it will be getting cooler as well by the time we get through to Easter Monday. It could be showers, long spells of rain involved with all of this. Next week, a lot of dry weather through the middle part of the week, maybe getting wetter, particularly for England and Wales towards the end of next week. But overall, it still doesn't look as though high pressure is going to be too far away. So any unsettled interruptions are likely not to last that long, and it shouldn't take too long before we find our way back to high pressure. We'll see. And tomorrow, of course, we've got JMA Friday. It's Good Friday tomorrow, so it'll be JMA Good Friday, which is the month ahead, look ahead. And we're going to have a week 10-day video update as well as always on a Friday. Loads of updates coming up over the weekend too. I'll talk you through those tomorrow. Been a very extended video. I hope you found it interesting and informative. Please give us a thumbs up on video if you've enjoyed it. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you for the videos tomorrow. Easter update though coming up tonight. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.